Hi, my name is Michele Neal. I'm a student at Augusta Technical College, majoring in accounting, and English is one of the subjects I had to take in order to obtain my accounting degree. Today, I would like to speak with you about grammar, specifically run-on sentences. I've always had this thing about writing papers because I have a fear of run-on sentences. But during my studying, I've managed to read up on a couple of things, and by studying Diane Hacker's book, Rules for Writers, it's actually helped me to correct some of the errors that I've had in the past. With that being said, let's go on and start the presentation. First, I would like to start out by defining a run-on sentence. A run-on sentence, as its name suggests, is two independent clauses that are not separated by punctuation or conjunction. There are two types of run-on sentences that I'll be speaking mostly about today, and that's fugue sentence and comma sentence. Fugue sentence. A fugue sentence occurs when the writer does not include punctuation between two independent clauses. For example, studying is highly required to pass the final exam. It plays a major role in a student's success. Notice that when I read the sentence, I read it perfectly well, and it sounds correct, but when putting the sentence down on paper, I failed to include a punctuation between the two independent clauses, which in turn made the sentence a run-on sentence, and it is incorrect. Next, we have comma sentence, which occurs when a writer joins two or more independent clauses with a comma, but without a coordinated conjunction, or the comma is accompanied by a word that's not a coordinated conjunction. For example, studying is highly required to pass the final exam, comma. However, it plays a major role in the student's success. Notice that I have a comma and a transitional expression, however, following the comma. This makes the sentence incorrect because there is no coordinated conjunction following the comma. Even though you have an expression there, a transitional expression there, it doesn't make the sentence correct. The rules are that a comma has to be followed with a coordinated conjunction. Therefore, this sentence is incorrect and a run-on. Now, let's go on to talk about important factors when correcting run-on sentences. First, you should make sure your sentence has a semicolon if sentences are closely related. Also, if you have two independent clauses, include a comma with a coordinated conjunction. And so you know there are 7 coordinated conjunctions: and, but, or, nor, for, so, or yet. Those are the only coordinated conjunctions that are included when separating two independent clauses. Now, if you have trouble, then you just should go about it in easier and simpler way, as we did probably in the 5th grade. Make clauses into separate sentences. That means the first sentence that you read, that's a complete sentence, add a period. Then the next sentence, capitalize the first letter of the sentence and add a period at the end of that sentence. And that fix the problem altogether. And it is easier, I must say, by doing this. Next, you can try to restructure your sentence. Now, I'll say this. Me, I am a basic English major, and I don't know if restructuring a sentence is in my capabilities. So therefore, if you are comfortable with fixing your run-on sentences and you feel as though you can restructure it, that's fine. But if you do, just make sure you restructure the sentence by subordinating one of the clauses. So let's go on and talk about revising run-on sentences. Since we know a little bit about run-on sentences, now let's try and see if we can revise a few. Earlier we had a few sentences, and I want to go about showing how to correct the few sentences that we talked about earlier in the presentation. Studying is highly required to pass the final exam. Here's where you will include a semicolon. It plays a major role in a student's success. By adding the semicolon, you have corrected this sentence. So it will read, studying is highly required to pass the final exam, semicolon. It plays a major role in a student's success. Okay, next we go on to talk about correcting comma splice. The way you will go about correcting the comma splicing is simple. You just add a coordinated conjunction, and if you by chance happen to use a transitional expression, you delete that transitional expression and use whatever preferable, the 7 coordinated conjunctions that I talked about earlier in the important factors. So, here's an example. Studying is highly required to pass the final exam. Comma, add coordinated conjunction, get rid of the transitional expression. It plays a major role in a student's success. And the sentence simply reads like this. Studying is highly required to pass the final exam, and it plays a major role in a student's success. Comma splice sentence gone. Run-on sentence no more. It is fixed. Next we'll go on to, like we were talking about earlier, going back to the 5th grade when you just had simple sentences. You just simply separate and make 2 sentences. Here's an example. Studying is highly required to pass the final exam. Remove comma, add period, capitalize the next sentence. It plays a major role in student success. As you will see at the bottom, the correction. Study is highly required to pass the final exam, period. It plays a major role in a student's success. In conclusion, although run-on sentences are common mistakes, there is no excuse when you have writers like Diane Hacker and Jan Vanola. They provide clear and specific instructions to avoid run-on sentences. Now, am I saying that run-on sentences are not going to happen? No, I'm not saying that. Of course, when you only have 60 minutes allowed time to type an essay, then mistakes can happen. But we have to learn how to practice and proofread to try to avoid these common mistakes. Also, remember, a run-on sentence can be corrected by adding the following: a semicolon or a comma and coordinating conjunction. If then you are still unsure, simply make the clauses into 2 separate sentences. You can also restructure the sentence by subordinating one of the clauses. And you will find that example in the first sentence of my conclusion. I would like to thank Jan Vanola and Diane Hacker when writing my presentation, and because even though I used it just to write this presentation, they also helped me with the research paper that's due in a couple of days. So hopefully my practice will show up in my writings. Thank you. I am Michele Farmer. Have a great night.